Hey everybody, Dr. B here. Welcome to the course. I hope you had a nice short break and you're well rested and ready to start. So our goal is in the next several weeks to learn as much as we can about psychology. And another little side goal that I have that you'll see is for all of us to become a little bit more heroic. I intend to have us all become heroes in waiting after doing a little bit of training. And that will make a whole lot more sense to you as we proceed here. Okay, so what I want to do is real quickly familiarize you with the course page and kind of go over the basics of what we're going to be doing and where and how you'll be doing it. So I'm in the course page, as you can see here already here. And when you enter, you'll be in this announcements page, and I haven't yet even posted a single announcement to you yet, but this is where they will appear, and they'll also go out to you via email. And once we get rolling here, though, what you're going to mostly be doing here is right over here in the left menu. You're going to be doing the course modules. So let me pop into there, and let's try popping in there. There we go. And we're going to be kind of working our way essentially down this page here, okay? So there's a few items at the beginning here, another greeting, a little bit about some of my presentations in YouTube, and a lot of the videos and presentations that you're going to be seeing are going to be posted in YouTube. And we're just going to work our way down these folders here. So one of the first things you're going to get going on is this introductions folder. That's where I want you to start. Maybe after listening to this. I'll be telling you more about this My Heroic Imagination theme that we're going to have here. And one of the assignments, let's talk about that first. One of your assignments is going to be to create a My Heroic Imagination presentation. You'll be making a 4 to 6 minute presentation video that you will post a link to for me to view, and I'll have a lot more to say about that, and you can get some of the details right there in that folder here. So I'm going to hold off on talking more about that for now. But that'll be worth 15% of your grade, and that will be a theme that we're going to have throughout the semester. So more about that as we roll along here. Okay, now so I'm showing you this page here, and you know, we'll go module by module, chapter by chapter, essentially a week at a time here. And so after you do some of that introductory stuff, then you can get going on chapter 1. And then you'll go inside of the chapter 1 folder. And I will have each module, I'll have a series of things that I hope that you'll watch. Some other items, and there's a PowerPoint posted that for each chapter that you're welcome to go through, and again a series of videos that you'll want to watch. And each chapter is going to also have a quiz. So you'll also in the meanwhile be reading along in the textbook, and I'll say more about the book in just a moment. And then every chapter will have what I call a take-home quiz. Everything in an online course is really a take-home, so it's a little bit misleading to call it a take-home quiz, but that's what they are. I'll talk more about those in maybe just a few minutes. Okay. So anyway, you'll be able to click item by item here and watch some of these presentations, and then in each one of these, there will be in each module chapter there will be a quiz, a 20 multiple choice quiz for you to do from the readings. From the questions for the take-home quizzes are going to come directly from the chapter and only the chapters. There's videos here that correspond with the chapters, but those quiz questions are not specifically geared to quiz those videos. They're just quiz questions for the chapter readings. We'll also have 4 regularly scheduled exams, and everything's done online in this course. We're not going to meet synchronized meetings, chat sessions, or anything like that. You'll do everything on your own time within the window of due dates that I'll give you for everything. And so we'll have 4 exams, and we'll do a few chapters. We'll do 3 chapters, have an exam. We'll do 3 more chapters, have another exam. And then the last 2 exams will have just a couple of chapters. Our textbook only has a nice short number of, it has 10 short chapters. And we'll divide those up into 4 exams. Now the exams will have questions about the readings, but they'll also contain questions about this content that I'm asking you to view. So there will be exam questions about some of these videos. So you'll want to watch these videos. Sometimes I will point out this one's optional, this one's not required. I hope you'll watch them, but I won't be asking you exam questions about that material. So once again, the readings will have quiz questions. The chapter quiz questions are specifically and only from the textbook readings. The exam questions will contain chaptered questions as well as content from these videos. Okay, so I'm going to pop back out to the main, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go take a quick look at the syllabus. So you can pop open that. I do want you to take a closer, better look at the syllabus here, and it'll open up in a window. And I'll have you go through this. I'm not going to go through everything in here, but there's information about how to reach me. Email is going to be the best way to get in touch with me. It's an online course. I don't have regularly scheduled office hours, and contacting me by email is the best bet, even better than phone. You can leave voicemail on the phone, but our system is so clunky, and there's a very good chance I won't know that you left a message there. It's pretty terrible, okay? So it's a really bad way to reach me. If you don't happen to catch me in the office answering the phone, chances are not terribly good that I'm going to find out that I have a voicemail sitting there. It's really awful, okay? So email me. I'd be happy to converse with you in some kind of in person using like FaceTime or Skype or something like that. And feel free to contact me by email to see if and when we can do that. I'll be happy to do that. I'd love to chat with you and get to know you. That's a big goal of mine, to get to know students. And that is one more difficult thing to do with online students. So, all right. Information about the course here. There's information about the textbook, all right? So I have the textbook right here. I'll show you the book, all right? So you may or may not get a print copy. You might opt to get an ebook version of the book, but I want you to notice how small and slim and tender this textbook is. And notice the prices on this thing too, okay? So a print version of this book is typically under 30 or 40 bucks, okay? Compare that with some of those great big giant introductory textbooks that I could have picked for you. Many of the other sections are using a great big beefy hardcover book. Most students get the E version of the book and they don't even realize how big the book is. It's gigantic, it's heavy, it's hard, it's sharp, and it's well over $100. Textbooks sometimes are, one of my other textbooks is $250. So I hope you'll enjoy the fact that I picked out a nice, small, tender, brief textbook, which only has 10 chapters for us to go through. Okay, so this is what the book looks like. And here's information about how to order your own copy. Maybe the best way to do it is directly through Worth Macmillan, who are the publishers of the book. So check out that link. That'll take you to some nifty options for buying the book. Now, they also sell something. They have a package called Launchpad, a separate web system that that I'm not going to be using for this class this semester. So you don't need to get that. If you want to, it might very well be very handy and helpful, and I don't want to talk you out of getting it. It doesn't cost a heck of a lot more to get an ebook version of that with that included. So check out those options on the link here. But for this course, you only need access to the book. You need access to the book. This is a textbook-oriented course in a lot of ways. Like I said, all those there's going to be 10 chapter quizzes directly from the readings, and I don't see how you could do well in those quizzes without having access to the textbook. This is the 5th edition of this textbook. I don't recommend using a previous edition. I don't know always how different new versions are. They're probably not all that different, but I can't recommend that you use an older version. So especially when you can get a copy of this thing for 20-some bucks, I hope that will be a very affordable option for you to have this new version of the book. All right, that's the only item that you need to buy for this course. Okay, so get a copy of that book as soon as you can, so that you can get started. All right, so here's information about the course goals and outcomes and what we're hoping to get accomplished in this class. So let's talk some more clearly about the graded components of this course. I know that's something that students always want to know. So I have an attendance policy, even though this is an online course. I'm expecting basically that you're going to be logging into this course page frequently. I don't think daily is a bad idea to pop in to do some items for this course. All right, it's certainly not less than weekly. You will not succeed very well in this course if you're not popping in weekly. As I mentioned, there are weekly quizzes. Every few weeks we'll have an exam. There's all kinds of content that I'm expecting you to view and watch. It's all within Blackboard here. So I am expecting you to have more than weekly access to the course page. And I'm going to be keeping track of that, and some small percentage of your grade, 5% of your grade, is going to be based on earning those points. So basically, we'll have about a point for each week. So I'll be tallying up if you have done the things that you were expected to do on time. Did you log in? Did you look at the videos? Did you take the quiz? Did you take the exam if we had an exam that week? Did you do everything that I was hoping and expecting you to do? If you did, you got the point for attendance for that week, okay? Easy to get, easy to do. And it'll keep you on task, all right? Okay. If you've got something coming up that's going to prevent you from being able to accomplish things, then communicate that with me as soon as and as immediately as you can. Don't wait, okay? I often tell students that I want you to have, this really applies to in-person students particularly, but it also applies to online students as well. I want you to kind of think about us as having an employer-employee relationship. Let's say, if you worked for me, if I was your boss, you couldn't just not show up for work, okay? And you couldn't just not show up for work for days or weeks at a time and then expect that you got the job sitting there fine and dandy and happy when you come back and telling the boss like, oh, I wasn't feeling well, I was sick, I was in the hospital, I was whatever. So as long as you communicate that with me, I'll be a good boss, okay? So if you have absences or things that are going to be, you're going to be away, then if you're going to be away from online, you can do this course anywhere you have internet access, okay? So if you're going to be just absolutely away from the internet for extended periods of time, we better talk, okay? Maybe if it's going to be really extended, this isn't the right time to take the course, but talk to me before just disappearing, okay? So I do want to know about things if you're going to be away or have trouble completing work, okay? So you'll find me accommodating and understanding when it's close to the time, but not so much later, okay? If you say, hey, I didn't do one of the quizzes 2 weeks ago because I got caught up doing this, that, or the other, or I was sick or whatever. If it's now, well past the time that was due, I'm not going to be terribly accommodating or understanding, okay? Just like if, okay, you get it, I hope. All right? Okay. So that was 5% for attendance. A little bit about online etiquette. If we do have, we have a discussion board here. There may be opportunities for you to be interacting there with other students. I'm expecting collegiality, professionalism, polite, no flaming, no angriness, no meanness, okay? Everyone's going to be polite to each other, okay? I told you about the quizzes. I told you about the exams. I'm going to tell you one more thing about the quizzes, though. There's a little bit, there's a couple of neat and weird things about the way I do the quizzes, okay? So first, the very neat things are that they're take home. You get to do them. They're not timed. The quizzes are not timed. You have about a week or more to do each quiz. But wait, there's more. It gets even better. Okay. The first time you take the quiz, if you do it before the deadline, you'll get feedback about how you did. So let's say you missed 4 questions out of 20. You got an 80%. You'll get information that says I got 80%. Okay, and you'll have an opportunity to take the quiz a second time. I'll give you an opportunity to take a second whack at it, and I'll give you the better of the 2 scores. If you do better, I'll give you the better score. If you do worse, I'll give you the first better score. All right, no penalty if you do worse. And so long as you do both of them before that initial deadline. Okay, so you have 2 whacks at doing them. All right. Now the one little kick in the pants that some students sometimes grumble about, but what I don't tell you is which items you got wrong. So if you got 4 wrong, you'll just know you got 4 wrong. You got 80%. Your job, if you wish to try, and doing the quizzes a second time is not required. That's optional and up to you. I think and I expect that you'll want to take advantage of the opportunity to do better, but you don't have to. So what I won't tell you right away is which items you got wrong. So some students grumble and complain about that. How am I supposed to know how am I supposed to fix it if I don't know which ones I got wrong? Your job is to go re-explore, look at the questions all over again, see if you can figure out which ones you might have gotten wrong, take another stab at it, okay? Now after the deadline, then you'll be able to go back in and see what all the correct answers are finally, okay? So you will ultimately eventually get feedback after the deadline, okay, but not before. All right, so that's the one little kick in the pants. But hey, 20 questions straight out of the chapter, you get 2 tries to do it. And you have about a week to do it, and they're not timed, okay? So my goal with these quizzes is to give you that little incentive with a very controllable part of your grade to stay up to date and keep reading week by week instead of putting it off, okay? So I'm not using these quizzes that's not my way to assess what you've learned and what you know, okay? That's your way to assess what you've learned and what you know, and you get a good portion of your grade for doing so, all right? How I will be assessing what you've learned and mastered is with those exams. So the exams are going to be, those are timed. Those, you only get 1 attempt, and they do cover not just the textbook, but also the videos and content that I've asked you to look at, okay? So that's where I'm assessing your mastery of the material, not with the quizzes, all right? So the exams will be a little bit, they're a little bit trickier. They're a little bit harder to get good grades on than those quizzes are, okay? So the quizzes will prepare you well for the exams. They're not the perfect and only preparation for the exams that you should do. Again, you'll need to watch all that content that I have, and you'll need to study and be prepared to take a timed test, okay? I'm planning on having 45 minutes per test, and they each are about 30 questions, so that's should be more than ample time to complete them, but not so much time that you have time to be looking up questions as you go along. And you should study as if it was a closed book in-class exam. If you're ready to take that kind of exam, you'll be ready to succeed on these online exams, okay? All right, so there will be 10 of those chapter quizzes, and then there will be 4 exams, all right? So that all those quizzes will go together in a quiz average, and then 4 exams, okay? So those 5 items are going to be worth, they're going to be worth collectively, well, they're going to be worth 20% each, okay? Now, that adds up to 100, and we still have 20% of material, other places. So I'm no math wizard, but I do know I have to add up to 100%. So here's the other good deal. The good deal is that those 4 exams and that quiz average, I'm going to throw out the lowest one of those 5 items. So only the best 4 are going to count for your grade. All right. So the quiz average is the most under your control. That should be your go-to item. That shouldn't be something that you're throwing out at the end of the semester. That will be kind of a shame if that's your lowest item. So I don't think that should be your goal. Here's what I want everyone, here's the goal I have for everybody. Wouldn't it be nice at the very end of the term when we're all kind of burnt out and tired and, and it's maybe you have exams for other courses, during that finals period, okay? Wouldn't it be nice not to even have to take that fourth and final exam, okay? Because you already have a good enough grade with the first 3 exams and that quiz average, so we can jettison that fourth exam, that final exam. The final exam, by the way, is not a final exam. It's not a comprehensive exam. It's just the 4th exam, and it actually only covers the last 2 chapters. We'll have 3 chapters on the first test, 3 chapters on the second test, and then just 2 chapters each on exam 3 and 4. So your goal, I hope you'll make it your goal, is to have a good enough, you have an A going entering that last week, and there wouldn't even be any reason for you to take that final 4th exam because you already have your A, and we'll throw that one out as your lowest, okay? Just in case some other exam winds up being your lowest, though, well, we'll throw that one out, and then you'll take that final and throw out maybe the first exam if you have trouble with the first exam or second or whatever, okay? Okay, so anyway, I hope that's enough information about the quizzes and the exams, and there's a little bit more in the syllabus here, okay? All right, then again, you'll have a presentation to do, and there's several goals that I have and reasons for giving you that presentation assignment here, okay? So as you're going to see, building heroism is one of the themes throughout this course. In psychology, as you're going to see, we've learned an awful lot about how bad situations can produce and cause bad behavior, even evil behavior in otherwise good people, okay? They're good people, but situations crumble and cause us to do, sometimes terrible, and sometimes indifferent things. Something, we call it the evil of inaction. Okay, we see something, then we don't do something when we know we could do something better. Okay, and sometimes we just do really bad things. We're going to see some really, vivid examples of unfortunately how that is the case. All right. So for a lot of years, psychology has studied evil, and we've been guilty of adopting what's sometimes called the medical model, kind of like in medicine. How medicine for a long time was about getting people from illness back out of illness, okay? Assuming that they're already ill, then only working to cure people or to heal them, okay? Not only in recent times have we started to focus on wellness in the medical profession. How can we get people to, what are some things we can do to prevent illness in the first place? Well, psychology has followed that medical model for too much of our history, and we were very only interested in mental illness, and more recently we have areas like positive psychology, health psychology. We're studying the good of behavior, the good in mental wellness instead of just mental illness. And this heroism ties in with that positive theme as well. Okay, so I hope you'll enjoy it. We'll have much more to say about it. I'll tell you more about this gentleman here and my affiliation with him. Okay, so again, I'm going to train you to be heroes in waiting. I'm going to train you to be more critical thinkers than I'm sure you already are. You're going to be better problem solvers and looking for ways that we can, adaptive ways that we can solve some of our problems. Okay, look at things this way. Look at all of the major crises that we have in our world today. All the major problems societal problems, environmental problems, with climate and pollution and resources. Look at our political climate. Look at our social ills that we have. Look at our homeless problem. Look at the disparity between the wealthy and the poor and how that's growing and dividing even further. Look at all of the problems that we have. Okay, what are going to be some of the solutions? You and I, we're tasked to come up with those as educated people. So I think psychology is perfectly and best equipped to do this. And here's why. Because all of those problems have a behavioral component. Our climate problem is not really a climate problem. The climate's going to be fine. It's going to be fine without us. If we destroy ourselves in the process, the climate will still be here. It might not be a good climate for us to survive, but it will be a climate. Climate is not the problem. Our behavior is the problem. Our behavior is the problem. With all of these problems, it's a human behavior problem. Psychology is the study of human behavior. We are perfectly equipped to deal with these. Excuse me. Okay, so that's our goal with this heroic imagination stuff. All right, so as you can see, I'm losing my voice. I'm going to sign off and wish you the best. I'll be seeing you soon. Good luck getting started. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.